connecting. I was having issues with it. I'm trying to get this microphone to work. Hopefully it's working. I haven't been on in a while. I had to pull my dog down May 17th. And even now I'm running around doing a lot of stuff. I've been having crazy epiphanies. See if anybody can join me on the stream here. I've been marking some of my videos private because I haven't watched them yet. I'm still trying to extract some of the epiphanies to tie in. I had this crazy story at Ocean State Job Lot yesterday, which is a store around here in Connecticut, trying to return stuff. So I had what's called crazy bucks. I'm hoping somebody can get on and confirm my mic is working. But so crazy bucks, you buy stuff to give you like store credit back, and return in a oh man, what a nightmare. I was trying to buy a blender and they're like, oh, you can't use the crazy bucks because it's on sale, and they gave me like $50 crazy bucks back, right? And day before 4th of July, it's crazy, right? So the line's nuts. Manager comes in, he's kind of nervous, but okay, I got this. We're gonna consolidate all the cards onto one card, blah 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 blah. Somehow it ended up me getting $40 less back, crazy bucks. And the chick had one of the cards that was for the exact amount, but when they scanned it, it's like amount exhausted. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And I'm just looking at states and energy states, and this whole thing was like, what a try on my patience. But at the same time, it was like persistence. I'm going to get into that. So I don't like entering things when I'm tired, and I think about reflections of things that occur to me in my state. Like I didn't really feel like going to the store, and I was kind of mentally tired dealing with trying to reconnect all the receipts and stuff. And I'm just thinking, these people that reflect, are they reflecting my state? You know, my whole thing's about energy optimization, and I'm going to dive into this 4th of July here, Epiphanies, because I see some things like Jesus as an effigy of energy. And this hit me this morning when I was thinking about the word state. With this a state of awareness, like, so not only do you have say, I always look at the 2 T's. So I'm going to dive into a 9/11 epiphany I had too. And this could even tie into twin with George Floyd, because I'm going to get into that 6 and 7 and 7 and 6 and these numbers that equal 13. Just some ways that I see it in the symbiotics. But when we see you could see this as Satan and Jesus, or Jesus and devil, but we have that E and the S on either side, right? And we know that we're dealing with ace, just like the 2 T's. We're dealing with that namaste. And epiphany I have too when I see like Adidas and other things like that I'll get into later. But with those 2 like pillars, right? So you got the middle and then you got either side. So those are 3 lines within the 2 lines, if I'm saying that correctly. But we're also dealing with pause, and like the hands are pause, pause. And so A is a way, a wake, a sleep. So A is dealing with angles and attention from the way I see it, or angels. So the angles that I see this stuff, and also we see S-E-A, so C. This also gets me into Moses splitting or parting the sea. to decoding here. Man, I hope the volume's on this mic. I'm gonna get into some presentations. I'm like, let me dive into this here. And how I'm tying this into 4th of July. So we look at, and believe me, some of these things I'm diving into, because I don't know if my mic's working, I'm definitely going to cut up and revisit some of these epiphanies I've had. I don't know how many people are really showing me too much love here. I got less than 100 followers, but I'm definitely much love and appreciation and checking this. I'm really kind of just taking my time with things I do here to get my life in order. And this is a lot of my artwork and a lot of things that I put down, like regarding energy and my perspectives. This is kind of like my platform. But you know, sharing this time here together, this dream. We talk about independence. I want to get into this as well. I'm also going to tie this into 9/11. I'm looking at this mug. Maybe I'll wait till somebody gets on here. I could dive into this right now. And I saw this. I'm looking at, you can see 2 airplanes there when we flip that over. You can clearly see that's 2 airplanes. That's 1 airplane there, and that's another airplane there. And it looks like windows blowing out. You can kind of see like people falling down or rubble. And when you look at that upside down, the 1776, you can also see it like 9/11, 2001. Birth of a nation. And you can see with initiation. See the 2 different eyes, left and right eyes. Even the blonde hair, black hair. Okay. This is just from the mind of energy, third eye mind, what I see. There's a lot more going on in here too. This is a Miller High Life mug. I'll put more of these shots into my okay, so now when you look at the fingers, you can see they look like fire. So you can see that's like 2 towers with fire. The airplanes are coming out of. Fucking focus. Feel free to screenshot that. Give me a shout. This popped out at me, you know what I mean? For me looking at shit different angles. There's a lot going on here in codes. So I might do a separate stream on that one. So I'm looking at a lot of things with symbols, numerology, patterns. So we know we can add these numbers up for energy, and that equals 74. I started spitting some of this on Sanchez's show, and it was like cut out at the end stream. I was a little distraught that I couldn't get on, but maybe I was late. But I got some fire here. Just cats talk about Jesus and things like that. And I've had some crazy epiphanies. So when we look at like G's, so 7 and 4 equals 11. We look at the game board. Yeah, man, I'm gonna keep this short. No one's tuning in yet, which is fine, but I want to know if my mic's working. We're doing sounds and symbol. Jesus, 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 Jesus. We're dealing with upward, moving up, right? We look at a Z when we sleep. So we got like a 7 going this way and a 7 going that way, with that in the middle. I'm gonna get into that. And I can't wait to do a pause and go too, also with my symbols. So Jesus. Also equals 74. Now when we look at 7, 4, we can also draw it like this, right? We can also see it like that too. We can see it like the Jesus fish, and then we can also kind of see that game board. Move it to the side. I think I'm going to leave it at that one until I reconnect, because I don't want to go through too much crazy erasing and stuff like that. But these 9/11 epiphanies, when I get into 4th of July, I always think about my boy Rob Hoyt, who was killed in Iraq. December 11th, 2004, 102nd Infantry. Also Felix Del Greco, but Rob Hoyt's birthday was July 4th, so it's always kind of hits home. He was 21 when he was killed. I wasn't there. I wasn't in Iraq. I did Homeland Security stuff. Got out around that time. So, you know, it's always one of those things, feeling like you should be there and stuff like that. But when I'm getting into the energy and these things, some of these symbols are so fucking crazy. I'm going to leave it at this one too. Jesus, and we see Jay-Z, right? I'm looking into these logos and symbols. I just posted this one up. So we know that the $20 bill, 9 and 11 is 20. When you fold it like an airplane, you can see the Twin Towers, exactly where they hit. There's a lot more to this. Just became ground zero. Also with a downward angle arrow too. And here we see also the Pentagon. You know, it just could be an artist's point of view. You know what I mean? I'm an artist, so I'm just exploring this. I'd never get into conspiracy theories. And just when I see that word states, to also heavy get into this Epiphany. And I saw Jay-Z. I saw this hat he was wearing because the Blueprint album came out 9/11. Then my friend came out. She mentioned Jay-Z. We were talking about Jacqueline and Boaz and Beyonce, and the whole thing was crazy. But I look at this hat with the airplane with the American flag, and then the 444. There's a lot of symbolism. It can be seen as 12. I mean, there's a lot to that, which can be seen as 3. There's a lot to that. L, which is also L. Shit is deep. So now when you look at this, I'm just going from this screen to screen here. When you look at, what the fuck, dude? There we go. You see the American flag right there at the bottom. Come at the top of the triangle. And you do that with the airplane. Okay, while I'm on here, because I don't really know how to get all these pictures together yet, some of these collages would be helpful for me to explain. But we know we see the symbology in a lot of Masonic stuff with the triangles, which me as a vegan always thinks about what, you know, the symbology of innocence or whatever they say, but it's still lambskin, which is dominating defenseless animals, which I'm very much against. So I think there's a lot of twisted shit here in our physics, but we get to set shit straight. I'm going to get into a lot of stuff. While we're here, I'm going to get into Fox and how that's also 666. And I'm going to get into a lot of symbols that I see. There we see the cremation of care ceremony. They supposedly plan out the future events. The world leaders, right? Let's keep it here. And keep in mind, it was also Building 7 too in the background. I'm going to touch a lot on that, on these symbols that I see. And we also see 7 in symbology as can also be seen as the sickle, which we can see as cycle, because, you know, step 7 is also represents steps, just as like its colors. There's 7 that are visible colors. I'm going to get way more into etymology. And I also see the A in a lot of these, you know, symbols too. There's a lot going on. But hey, I'm staying here on the 9/11 shit. I got more pictures to add here that I have not added that are just like, they're mind-blowing. I can't wait to update this Instagram page. If people want to see it, it's called Swat It Is. I also look into The Art of War. They say the oldest book, and the 9 situations, which is in chapter 11. And I look at symbols like that too. The 9 situations, which is dispersed ground. It all has to do with ground, open ground, ground of interacting highways, serious ground, difficult ground, hemmed in ground, desperate ground. I look at these symbols, you know what I mean? I really do. And how they use like the globe and all that stuff. But check it. This one hit me heavy too when I saw the Mad Hatter flipped upside down. We see the 9/11/01. Because I look at angles. We know that's Manhattan. But what got me too is seeing the hair as the fire, just as kind of as we saw, and then keep in mind it's like two windows blowing out two airplanes. So to me that would be the eyeballs. So it's kind of look like boats, but they could also be like little airplanes. And they're hit, you know, where those explosions are with the hair. There's a lot to that, and that's also, you know, the Tea Party. You know, we're dealing with the Twin Towers. But it's crazy when you start seeing symbiotics. You know, it makes you get really philosophical and start looking outside the box. So I'm not gonna make any accusations. Just I think it's really important for people to start looking at how things are presented and seeing things from different angles, so we can have a better balanced input than just programming. There's a lot more on 9/11. I remember I was in the military at the time. That's actually when I transferred over to the infantry after that happened, because I got to volunteer with them. Doing airport security. I was doing like a desk job in the military first, and then I was like, I wanted to do more stuff. That was cool. I did a lot of, I was at this Olympics, you know, but I was always independent too, so it's interesting that I was in the military as well. But I was always kind of an active person, so I found my ground there. But then I also kind of left and kept working for family business. But I also missed Iraq and all that stuff. It just crazy experiences that I might get into later. But we'll get into that 7-4 and the 4-7. It's also force even. To force even. To force even. It's also to foresee events. And if we look at D and G, it's also degree, dog. Rest in peace to my dog. Man, that's a good way to leave it till the next. But and oh, fuck. I don't know if this microphone was on. I hope it was. So I say DG. And 7-4 is GD, and we know that Jesus was from God. So we're also doing what edge and adjust, and then we're also looking at digits. We're looking at digits when we go into this stuff. Devil and Jesus, because Jesus, G. We use the J came later. There's a lot of spelling going on. And we also get into leaps. Sleep is leaps. And when you look at the Z, it kind of leaps. So I'm getting a little sidetracked from the 9/11 thing. I will get more into that. IK, it's also KI. So that I'm reaching. I don't really know where I'm going. I'm going to keep it there because I'm tired. I'm going to get more into that when I continue. I got more perceptions, revelations, Yakin and Boaz. You know, in Boaz we see, you know, gazebo and action in Yakin. But there's also the word Akin. Akin, J is also silent. Akin. So akin is like, something like another thing. So it's also dealing with angles. We also see the word cane. Which is also play on Nike and everything, because A is one. One is O-N-E, so we got an E there as well. There's different codes that we can look at, just as it also could be like this, just as 0. Breaks down to 10, 55. 0 equals 55, which is 10. So just like, oh, it's the same thing too. 5 and 5. 1 off is 9 to 5, right? That's doing this kind of thing. Because if we're dealing with weight, 5 and 5 is even balance. So there goes the wand, and we're also dealing with that wander with the vibration. To bow is an arc. Shit, I'm gonna get into that. Bow. Look at the D, we also see the bow. Which also makes me think the 5, 1 off, where we're dealing with that, the bow, because you got that arrow's the 1, the arrow is the rib. So also we do like atom, 1, 4, 5, and 14 is 19. Oh shit. I'll get into that one. Well, anyway, that's 4 letters. Could be tripping. I'm gonna bring that one to the equation when it hits me. But I see a lot going on with that, because we do see it. And what's interesting too is that we look at the zodiac sign, because I'm talking about the tail end of the moon. And it's interesting, we look at words like tailspin and things like that. Keep in mind that ancient way of 11 was a way of writing 2 also, which I don't want to trail off. What was it talking about? Tailspin. Damn. I might have to bring that one back. Shit. Okay, tailspin. Damn. I may have lost that quick. Sometimes things hit me so fast. Oh yeah. Sagittarius is the one that faces opposite direction on the zodiac sign. So if we're dealing with 2 different spinning directions, if we say counterclockwise, clockwise, counterclockwise. Fuck. It's interesting because CW. I gotta think about this. I gotta really think about this. Clockwise, CW, makes me think of Clockwork Orange and all that shit, is 3 and 23, which is 26, because we know that's the Z. Damn, that's clockwise. Damn. And then counterclockwise would have to be, I mean, we could look at that as 3, 23. So how would I see that? That's 11. Counterclockwise is 11. Or we could look at 23, 26, 29, and the 2 would be like a B, and the 9 I by. Hang on. What's the Skull and Bones number? Three two two. That one is okay. I'm reaching right there. So sometimes I glide with this as I see kind of stuff while I'm doing this. But really get into the 4th of July. There's so much more stuff that I see, and I'm gonna dive into this right now. I'm gonna dive the fuck into this right now. Because when we look at like the Titan. I hope this shit is working. So we look at the Titan. What the fuck is going on with current events right now? Damn. So just like we got Jesus Christ, we're dealing with that 13, the JC. And also see what we see. There's a lot to see also relating to 8, because what we see is doing like vibration, pace, bass, percussion is heartbeat, right? What the fuck was I saying? Oh shit. So we got Jacques Cousteau, Jesus Christ, went to the bottom, came back. James Cameron, the bottom, he's a speaker, right? There's a guy who didn't go on the submarine. Fuck, do I got his name? Excuse my language. I'm getting it. Pulling along here to get this information across. I might make this private for myself so I can bring it back. Hang on. I feel like this should be shared to the right people though. I look at symbols like in Yahweh, how that's written, I see the word eyes. For those with eyes to see. Just looking at different angles. If I'm helping anybody else see this shit, give me a shout. Wait, look at this, dude. This is so crazy. Get into this whole Ocean Gate thing. Not only do we have the 2 T's, hang on, this is so crazy. This guy right here. So this guy right here is speaking about it. He didn't go on it. He was going to go on it, but didn't go on it and lives to tell. Jake Kohler. There's Jacques Cousteau. James Cameron. Like Jesus Christ. There's a lot of stuff that we see in codes. So when I see this stuff, and then I also see the same things with, you see the triangles and stuff. Shit, let's get this. And you see Solomon's Temple at the top. Which is interesting. Inside circle, middle circle, outer circle too. Even looking at that, I'm going to show something. There's a lot of symbols to see in records. I was looking at the Young Bloods Sunlight, this album, and how there's like 3 O's in Young Bloods. I was Young Guns 4th Platoon, anyway, basic training. But I'll see how there's the 3 suns. So there's a lot I'm going to get into, just even in titles on some of these things. So I got a lot of ground to cover, but when I see stuff related to 9/11, I'm pulling in similar. I'm pulling in where I see a lot of symbols. Here's a bicycle game card set from the year 2000. I start looking back. And this is kind of one I'll save for a pause and go. But we know that the Trump Towers, Trump first, I'm dealing with the two T's again, announced he was going to run for president on 9/11 on Channel 9. It was like around 11 o'clock. He called in. The towers are hit. I have to get the time exactly. It's on my Insta channel. I don't know if this isn't recording. That would suck. But again, I got my mic hooked up, so I'm still learning this. Just mess with the volume. So this is kind of a test run, but these epiphanies are real time. And I got a lot more. I got a lot of shit to tie in that's going to be mind-blowing. Like, some of this shit blows my mind. I'm still struggling. Not struggling, but I'm just like, I take on a lot, and I'm working on getting things in order in my life. But it helps me to have this kind of time to put some shit down in my mind and tie a lot of this stuff in. Deeply personal. And I've been having a lot of epiphanies, so we'll get more into it. If somebody sees this, give me a shout. It'll keep me going, keep me tying this in. If no one's really catching what I'm throwing down, then maybe I'll focus more on my playlists and stuff like that. But I'm huge into the energy, maximizing, optimizing, learning about dreams, and interested in like premonitions. It's interesting, premonitions. I just think how even that's PM, and that deals with night and nighttime premonitions. And anyway, I'm getting a little drifty. Trying to remember what I was thinking of, because I'm wicked tired. Happy 4th of July. If you're digging what I'm throwing down, I see a lot of things. I think about my friends that have fallen, and I have utmost respect. I think it's crazy how there's no vegan meals and meals ready to eat in the military. And right now I see the biggest call to action, speaking of freedom, is the most amount of suffering in this world is animal abuse from humans when we don't have to. So if that's not a call to action, like, people complain about a lot of things. I'm like, how can you complain about anything? You don't see it because we're dumbing down our consciousness. As children, we don't want to kill an animal and eat it. We're told that's growing up, that's survival, what we've always done. It's always that limited mindset that gets you to go along, get along, think about for your protein against the feeling you have. And so I've been really reconnecting with what feels natural, and it also helps to build with similar minds too, because even through my sifting, I came across different people and works, even whether it's Dr. Sebi, even Hotep, just sifting through other people's studies, but really it goes with what resonates. So when I get into Renegade, Renergy, this is all my name in it, and it's my energy. So when you look at effigy, F and G, it's 6 and 7, even, odd. We could look at it different ways, but we could deal it as, when it's balanced out, it's that capital G, if you see it that way. I see that as grip, which we also have rip. You know, and that could also be seen as ripples because we're dealing with that corner in the center of that. You know what I mean? Like that could be the ground and that could be the rip. I mean, I'll do more on my symbols when I can stop and go because I don't want to start erasing and stuff like that. And I do want to show more of my artwork. If cats are into my artwork, I'm gonna be putting some more stuff down on my what it is. So a lot of it's collages I tie in, and I might highlight things that I see from different angles. And I also want to put down a lot more of my artwork. And I do want to also working on some more vegan themed stuff. So if you want to see any of that, give me a shout. Rest in peace to my dog Beaner on 4th of July, riding in memory of. And I could do a huge stream on my little dog. She lived over 18 years old. I got her from my best friend who passed away. July 1st was his funeral. July's like a heavy month. It's heavy. And it's starting to get more months like that, but I lost a lot of personal friends in July. So when I think of 4th of July and independence, it's like internal. It's like we carry the torch for the fallen. In my opinion, in memory of, however you want to look at it. But if anybody catches what I'm throwing down here, peace. I'm keeping this short and swift to the next. I haven't been on here in a minute. Like I said, I lost my dog. That was really fucking hard. And where I'm at here is like a temporary living situation, and I detail cars. I help my boy do tree removal. And then, you know, I'm really into like cooking and learn alkaline stuff. I'm really into health. Like I'm super ripped. Like I'm wicked ripped. You know, vegan. And what else am I getting into? Yeah, so it's a balancing act. So I look at this shit like I've gotten this way from going against a lot of things or a lot of challenging things in my life. So I've developed unbelievable coping skills, and you know, I pride myself in being able to see things a lot of people can't see. So I'm gonna put a lot more stuff in my artwork. If you're checking this channel, you know, thanks for checking in. Drop a comment or something, you know. Let me know where you're checking in from. I'll give you a shout back. All right, peace.